Hey, this is Copy Who in 4K. What's going on, everyone? This is your beloved host. I don't know that I'm beloved. Am I beloved? That's probably a stretch. I'm Paul, the producer. I've been going by that moniker for a long time. Since way back when. Look at me. You like this outfit? I don't know that I like this outfit. I feel rather silly in this outfit. But it's like I'm running out of combinations of clothing, and I like to get the screenshots from this to post on social media after recording the show, so trying something a little different. And there's a little bit of a story, a backstory to this outfit I'm wearing right now. This is basically when I was in college. You know what I do feel like, though? I feel like I'm a bard, and it's like Irish folk music or something, right? That's what this is making me think I look like right there. So I'm going to play some of that in the background while I talk. Alrighty then. It's my Irish folk music in the background as I'm dressed like a total wuss or something. It's not as wussy as it sounds. You know what this is? I got this shirt when I was younger, and I got this vest because in college I put together a Halloween outfit where I was going to be Don Juan. True. Okay, maybe this should have been my true story. So I put together an outfit like Don Juan. Right now I'm wearing my denim blue jeans, which is cool. On this night that there was this big party at the girls' house. You know, we had these three friends in college. They were so cool. They made the experience of college so elevated and cool. Wendy, Renee, and Arlette. And they had a Halloween party, so I was like, I'm going as Don Juan, and I was so delusional. Okay, so I had a mask over my face as Don Juan. I had a big round black hat, and I had black sort of leather pants on, and I had big giant black boots. And so I was so delusional, I actually thought, hey, if I'm Don Juan, if I'm doing this, I'll probably get laid. I did not even get close to getting laid. At that age, I had no girlfriend, I had no game, none of that. But I had the Don Juan outfit, and I felt very cool in the Don Juan outfit, at least for a night. No, to be honest with you, you know how I told you I thought I was going to get laid? I thought I was going to put on this outfit and be like all confident and debonair, but I was still the same old shy Paul. And I had to lube myself with alcohol. Ply myself with alcohol in order to have a good time socially. Way back when at that time. So here I am. And I don't imagine I'll wear this again, but I was like, hey, this is a unique look for today. I'll get some kind of people be like, what? Don Juan, huh? Yes. And so I'm going to go to this early today. I'm going to get out of these nerdy glasses and come here for the super duper cool glasses. What's up? That is badass. Now I feel like, you know, between the satire of the goofy shit I'm wearing, I feel like a bard wearing this. Like I have a story to tell or something. So that's the story, all right. Today, screening on Tracy Lee Samsung Theater is a movie from the 1980s called A Nightmare on Elm Street, starring Robert Englund as the child molester burned to a crisp, Freddy Krueger, known as Freddy Krueger. And so, yes, inspired by none other than Tracy Lee Samsung, because why not? Why the hell not? I said I'm naming that TV that, and I'm going with that. And no matter what happens, that TV's called Tracy Lee Samsung. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm just a little bit too goofy on this one. I'm gonna get rid of this goofy music behind me, and we're gonna normalize the vibe here. We're gonna normalize the vibe in the Bard outfit and the Don Juan outfit, and I feel like I'm a contemporary Don Juan now, with a little more game, with a little more just general confidence. Like whatever, the coolest Don Juans don't give a shit when they talk to women. They're like, eh, and I have developed a little bit of that attitude. It's not that I don't want company. I actually really do like good company. But I'm not so preoccupied with women that I lose my shit. I mean, like my area of preoccupation now has to do with the state of the world and how it impacts all of us where it's going. Like we are on a runaway train, a corrupt runaway train, and that shit's derailing right now. And I had these morbid thoughts like 15, 20 years ago. I was like, damn, this world is crashing, yo. Just to sound a little bit like, yo. When you say yo at the end of it, you sound like Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. So when you say, damn, this world is crashing, yo, bitch, sounds a little like Jesse Pinkman. I'm just saying. And it's redundant to say something and then subsequently say, I'm just saying. So I spent a lot of time over the course of the past couple days screwing around with my gear here, and I got rid of some light here on the wall that was overly exposed right on the edge of this, and behind the TV, there were some parts that were blown out, especially when you go up here. Behind this TV here, that red behind the wall over there was all blown out, and so right now the colors are looking better. I'm enjoying it, actually. I have a little bit of a monitor now. My recording output is going to this monitor over there, so it's another... it keeps me looking this direction, too. I thought about putting that monitor over here, but I want to look like I'm looking at the RISE TV, sitting here, staring at it like this. You know, that's the format. Producer's decree. I got to be facing this freaking direction right here. And so, but when I'm facing that direction, it doesn't look like I'm looking at that. So I put the monitor TV over more toward facing this direction. You know, I think of these little things because I'm obsessed with aspects of perfection that normal people are not. But I certainly am. And what I want to do now is move on to get my water situated right here, right now, because I'm thirsty. I want to drink. You know, medieval bards, and not only medieval bards, but more specifically, what do you call it? Don Juan. This is not Don Juan. This is not the Don Juan look, I must say. It's more silly than that. We are mixing our customary CBD with the water, and I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of this CBD. I don't know that I'm going to want to continue with this. I want to get just a higher dose of CBD and stick it under my tongue, not on the show, but I still kind of want to mix something with the water because of the ritual. I like this. What I'm doing for you now, it's not just coincidental. It's just some kind of extra character that I add to the show myself. I love those old Tonight Show episodes where, with Johnny Carson, you have people drinking alcohol on there. You have people smoking cigarettes. And that's when America was bad fucking ass. Not like the dumbass shit they do now. It's like, be a little edgy. Jimmy Fallon, you're not edgy anymore. And neither is the network. It's like, no smoking, no drinking. Be very politically correct. It's also perfectly clean that it gets really annoying. Oh, no, I had an idea, but that's not what I want to do right now. I don't have any shit all over me, do I? I don't know. I'm looking for lint because I do have this little sticky thing I can roll all over me to take the lint off of my body. And I also have the means right now to do one of these. Come over here and do a little bit of flossing. I just had my protein shake, and I ground up some strawberries in it, and it was decent. And the flavor of the shake was kind of like some kind of cream. And it's not a soy-based protein. It's a plant-based protein. I think it's made from pea protein. Not urine, you sillies. Ha! Yeah. They're gonna kill me for sure. I'm thinking of a line from this movie right here. You what? Wait, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. All right, that felt good. It was a little bit sensitive over there in that one spot, you know. I'm sensitive. My teeth are sensitive whenever I floss my teeth. It's so sensitive in my teeth that I poke this little tender spot on my gums, and I'm like, ooh, that's not like ooh. Yeah. I think people who met me last weekend see a different person when they're watching this. I want to greet a lot of new followers and subscribers. I was really sort of mystified to see that all these people. I was so grateful when Eric from Eric and Daryl shared my wrap up of the last weekend over there in Huntsville. I didn't ask him to do that. I was just so grateful he did that because it's been my fucking. I'm following them because I like what they do, and they were part of what inspired me to get going doing my own thing. But I haven't been like gratuitously like promote me or anything like that. It's just it's just purely appreciation for what they do over there. And it's not me wanting to insert myself in anything. So the fact that he promoted me, I was very grateful of that. I got a lot of great comments on the David Lynham commented on my video, and so did Charlie from X5 Podcast. So I was just I didn't expect that, and so it gave me a little thrill. It helped me through the week because I have been short AF on sleep, and that warrants an exclamation at the end of that. You know why? Because I've been so short on sleep that my mood has been wonky. And I must say, last night was the best night of sleep I've gotten all week long. It was kind of like my mind finally settled down a little bit. I had other personal things going on in life that were not easy this week. And when you're short on sleep, totally made me wonky. So it helped. Those people helped me through. And so when the last show I recorded premiered, and I wasn't particularly happy with that show, sometimes my shtick seems forced and it doesn't seem inspired. It's like lifting too much weight or something for me when it's not working right. But I'm feeling psychologically, I feel better today about that one. But I was so happy when I was watching the premiere. I was like nearly passing out on my couch, and I saw all these people from Eric and Daryl logging on to see it. And people who watch those guys, and I was just like, wow, I'm like blown away. And they were commenting, and that was something new for me. And eventually I'd like to consider doing a live show, but I get all out of it. I'm a strange sort of guy, a strange performer, because when there's a chat there, it's like my phone ringing or getting a text. It can suddenly throw me off. And I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And so people say something, and it's like my phone ringing, and all of a sudden my mind is like not on what I was saying, and but then I need to just integrate that in and go with the flow of people. But it's also that's not it. It's not merely insecurity. It's like, well, this is another insecurity. It's like if I start playing something and it violates copyright and they cut the stream from being live, I'm going to be like, "Dah!" I know that's going to piss me off. And so it's like I like to do these recordings in my studio, and I would love it if I could stream out from my studio and everyone could watch live, and I didn't have to depend on something like a YouTube to do it, where they're like, cut the stream, there's a violation of copyright, and it's like, God dang it, So it really creatively does bug me, and so like I've even worried that I'm putting like Freddy Krueger down here, and I'm like, is someone going to pop me? Am I going to get popped for that? I think you can use the image there, right? Like I'm not playing sound. It's like half blocked, so you can't even tell what's down there. So it's not like you're sitting watching me to watch that. And it's not like that is causing me to gain some unfair financial advantage here. So sometimes I think copyright is just stupid fucking shit. Fucking, I say the F word a little too much. I was once told by my father that I'm too guttural when I do things like this. Guttural meaning the language that I use, the language that I employ. And he says my dad has esteemed me with the greatest compliment, saying that I'm a master of the English language. Yes, I wear this outfit and I say that my father has said to me, you, sir, my son, is a master of the English language. Voila! Ironic way to end that exclamation by saying voila when I'm hitting the crash, but yes, and so I should not be so guttural in the things I say. Naughty Paul, swearing Paul, but I do think sometimes that my indignance and my passion warrants expression with the word fuck, fuck, fuck. And I realize that's probably not going to be good for the algorithm, growing organically on here. That's fine. Just let me have my fun. If this thing grows, that's fine. I've stated to numerous people and friends, even in the last week, that if people start watching this, I start feeling pressure. And in my mind, when I'm thinking there are these particular people watching, I'm like more self-conscious about it. I don't know. Maybe it's elevating my performance. It's like in the past when I've jammed music with people who were really good, I could tell that it uplifted my own ability to play. Like when I'm hacky sacking with people, kicking the little hacky sack up, keeping it in the air with others. It's like I'm trying to keep it in the air, not do anything fancy. I'm just trying to keep it decent enough for the group. You know what I mean? So I raise the bar when I'm challenged. And so maybe if there are more people out there, maybe that pressure will drive me in a good way. But it's like I fear the pressure because I'm afraid that pressure is going to cause me to start to break it down emotionally. But I don't have to chase money here. I'm just doing this for a creative, and to open doors with people. Hopefully it'll lead somewhere, like an opportunity, even like, hey, so-and-so wants you to come and help with this role on the movie. Can you run sound or, I don't know, whatever the heck. If they provide me with gear or whatever, I could do that. And other jobs, you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to get a SAG card. I'm never going to get jabbed for anybody over my dead body. And I mean that. Like, I'm not getting jabbed for anyone. No one should do that. And it breaks my heart, those who have. And I don't want to get sidetracked on there, but I'm just hoping this opens doors for me here. Creative doors to fellowship, people who share a creative fellowship, people who want to laugh. I do want it to be lighthearted most of the time, even though a couple episodes ago, 3 ago, last Friday, or no, the one I put out on Wednesday before going to Huntsville, very angry recording that one, and it's not the way I want to be most of the time. Let's see what else I have written here before I go to the new RISE, which I do enjoy so much. I love the new RISE. It's mine! Mine! I'm being like a little child, of course, because little children, they are very possessive of things and they don't know how to share and they go, mine. And so I took this new RISE from someone else. He knows who he is and I've improved it and it's better and it's mine. Mine. Let's see. Downtime. Yes. I've talked about all these things. Downtime. So I'm always thinking about rock stars who can't handle the downtime. And that's sort of me. Once I get out there and I'm enjoying time with people, I'm enjoying myself. Suddenly I come home, I walk into my quiet, gigantic house. It's really ridiculous how big my house is. And I lived here alone most of the time. And that's a sad reality but it's also like I'm a little weird. I try to imagine sharing it. Like if I found a girlfriend and she moved in, I try to imagine sharing it and I'm like, this room is my room and that room is my room. You can do what you want over here in the living room and in the master bedroom. I don't care. I'll even give you a bedroom up there. Make it whatever you want. But like, don't invade these other areas. Basement, mine. This studio area, mine. That front studio area, mine. I have 3 areas in my house that you could definitely say are studios. I record drums in the basement, including workout, and I have another like home theater set up down there that I'm never down. I haven't been down there once since I lived here the last few years and watched TV or a movie or anything. I've worked out a lot down there. I've played drums down there. I practiced karaoke down there. And I haven't done any recording of music, so I set up a studio in this front area here to work more on music. I don't go down to my basement to do that activity recording music because it's actually really cold down there. I need to cut more of these heating outlets in the duct work so that it's maybe warmer down there. So I want to work on the main level of my house recording some music, but I want to track drums downstairs. And that's what I'm doing here. So, but anyway, the downtime... it reminds me of this week. After coming back from Huntsville, I was like, I don't want to sit home alone. So I've been like in the kava bar every single day this week. And it's not as depraved as it seems because I've brought my computer over there and I've done a tremendous amount of editing of footage of shows that I did this week, cutting out clips and trying to organize the clips I have from Huntsville, which I'm not ready to present yet because I want it to be somewhat decent. It's not going to be like mind-blowing. Wow. But it'll just tell a little story when it's ready, I'll say, okay, this was my trip to Huntsville, and I'll present that to people. And so that's where I am. Dreams last night. One dream I had, and I know I had a lot more dreams last night, but this is the one I remembered. I dreamt that there was a herd of wild boars by a main road near my house. And I dreamt that there were like a lot of them, like a couple dozen of them or something. And I dreamt that I was by this road where these cars go zooming by at 55 miles per hour. And I dreamt that I startled the herd and they were running toward the main road. And I was like, oh my God, people are going to run into these boars, these wild boars, and they're going to like get hurt or something. And I was like, shit, what the hell do I do? And so I actually thought someone was going to get in a car accident, and lo and behold, what's the conclusion? There is no conclusion. That's all I remember from my dream. So you enjoy what little I told you. So yeah, I was worried they were going to be hit by cars. Did you think there was going to be some kind of climactic ending to what I'm saying? Because there's not even a little bit. I think it's time to move to that second part of the show. I want to see how much, actually I'm curious, how much time have I've gone 21 minutes jabbering about all this rubbish. We will start going to this next part of the show here. The one where I always brag about how much I like this part of the show. And so I will go very nicely to this next moment and go beep, a bop, a boop. Yes, people, it's the new RISE. RISE now. All these new things going on. I am the Bard of Copy Who. I am Don Juan of Copy Who. I am spinning cinema on the Tracy Lee Samsung Theater TV right now. Oh, yeah! This is my day. This is my time. I'm enjoying it. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? I know that I can dig it. But can you dig it? Should be able to. That was fun, everybody. That was bloody fun. Thank you. All the new people, thank you. This is for you. I'm going to bend over backwards to be silly as fuck to bring you here. All right, then. Okay. Oh. Mistake. No problem. Took care of that really quickly. I can dig it. Can you dig it is the question. Can you dig it in the same fashion that I dig it? What's going on here? Yeah, I'm lit, right? Why does it look different to me? I just guess it's the dramatic look of being Don Juan today. The Don Juan of Copy Who. The Don Juan wannabe is like the name of the show should be the Don Juan wannabe of Copy Who. Yeah. And so, no, actually, to be honest, I have too many moral scruples to be a Don Juan. I can't even Don one without having moral scruples. One, the number one. You get what I'm saying? Because sex, it's wonderful. I've enjoyed a lot of sex in my adult life. And God knows, you want to be a man who women want to bed. It makes you feel good, and it makes me feel good. But you know what? Sex is supposed to be sacred, so there's always this fucking tug of war. When there's an opportunity to do something, my mind is like, no! And then my physicality. And so, like, if I give into it, if I'm like, okay, let's do that, let's just let go and enjoy myself, suddenly it's like, so there's this tug of war. And it's Christian in nature, that guilt that if sex out of wedlock is a sin, there's always this tug toward, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. And so, how did I get on that topic? I don't know. True story, though. That is true. That I have all these stupid scruples now that I did not have for a duration when I was younger. And now I'm all like, oh, there's only so much time left. So to me, it's like, yeah, the physicality of sex is fun, but I really love when you combine that physicality. Better than ever. It's better than ever with emotionality. When you're like really into the person. But it's like, It's not that you're not into the person. It's that there's this tug of war of like, this is a sacred thing I want to be doing with someone, and I want it to be like the greatest, the best ever, and have it like it's only a partial thrill when there's not that emotional connection with it. And I'm not knocking anyone. Enjoy yourselves. Your sin is your sin. I'm not encouraging you to sin. Everybody's got to like live their own life. I'm not perfect, is what I'm saying. It sounds like I'm on my moral high horse. I am not at all, as a matter of fact. I am imperfect. I sin. I like to sin. I lust. I like to lust. Forgive me, Lord. You know I like to lust. Sees everything, like perfect, crystal clear view of Paul and Paul's mind. It's like I'm always thinking about how I want to like mind meld with people. Or like give them access to certain files in my brain so they go, oh my God, I understand you now, Paul. Same with my family. Same with anyone I'm related to. Like, here, let me give you access to these files. And then you'll be like, oh my God. And so God has that transcendent access to my mind where he's like, dude, I totally get it. I'm like, I see every aspect of your mind. I know everything wrong you've done. I know everything good you've done. And I know that you know, I know you know. All these like loops of omnipresence. What is it? God's omnipotent. He knows all. He sees all. He does all. He's capable of all that is possible. Okay? So, therefore, God knows everything in my mind transparently. Is this a philosopher? This is Paul the Bard philosopher. So I'm going to keep on moving through my list here. What is on my list here? I have a true story that I'm going to save for another day because I'm going to see if I can actually, what do you call it? I'm going to see if I can amass some of the media that tells this story better. It's a story about when I got in trouble when I was younger, and there is some media related to it. And I don't even want to tell the story now because it's saved best for that segment, True Stories. So what I do have here, though, is kind of interesting in my view. It's a clip of the now recently deceased Silvio Berlusconi. What is this blank screen before you that I've put before your eyes? Behold this nasty-looking screen. It is a 30-second clip of the Prime Minister of Italy, remembered now for his womanizing on this show, okay? Oh, it's very blurry. So there he is up there. Watch what he does here. He was a really creepy guy. So watch what he does. I think this was when he was Prime Minister. Look, he walks over to this police woman right here, and look at him. He's gyrating behind her. What the hell? Do you realize how that would end the career of someone here in the United States so quickly? And so that's permanent record right there. And so he puts out propaganda during his life like, Silvio Berlusconi, the family man. Forza Italia. And it's like, there you are. Like, you actually went. And so how do you get away with that? You have billions of dollars, and you're kind of like the lead mafioso. Oh, wait, hold on. You're kind of like the lead mafioso of your country, and you can get away with murder. Can you believe he did that? I can't believe he did that. And so it's not a very clear video. It would kind of be nice if it were more clear. It's 240p. I wish there were a clearer video of that. And so maybe in this day of deepfakes, you could legitimately doubt whether that's him or not. I think it is him because I saw a clearer version of that when I was younger. But remember, he was a media mogul. He monopolizes the media in Italy, and God knows where he was in the echelon of global elites. We don't know. Where was he? Was he leading Italy down the path to hell like the rest of Western civilization? What we need here is a renaissance to save us. A serious renaissance where everyone suddenly wakes up and goes, oh my God, I see what's happening. Stop it. Stop it now. Don't comply. Just trust me. Don't comply. For the love of God, don't comply. Oh, people. It's Copy Who. Welcome to Copy Who, by the way. I know I've probably said something like that already today, but I'm saying it again. And the objective here is to fill an hour with constant talking and yapping. My only break is when I play a video up here and I'm listening so that I can comment on it. That's my only chance for a break. Just to clarify, behind the scenes, a little of what I've been working on aside from getting a better visual here, is, for instance, I'll give you for an instance. I'm planning on having guests on here, and so I'm having to troubleshoot some audio issues I'm having. I need to know that when I have someone come on here, when they come on, that the audio is working and it's recording correctly. And I have certain ideas in mind. Like if I have a guest on, I might want to play a video where they can see the video and they can respond to the video with me. But there's a little problem with the way the audio is routed. So like when they can hear the video, and it has to do with mix minus and the signal sending back to them, and then all of a sudden there's this doubling sound that sounds like horse ass shit, and I have to learn how to route in this mixer right here. All these things I'm trying to figure out. And not only that technical aspect, it's like the way I had to learn how I was doing the rise. It's an order of operations. So when I invite someone on and they're in the green room in this little interview feature here, I can then like introduce them in to the setting in a certain way that flows and it makes sense, instead of going like, hold on, I'm messing with this. I want it to flow like a smooth show. And so I was doing that with myself using my phone yesterday as like I was calling in to myself, and I actually brought my phone to the other room and I was testing audio and the signal from there and coming over here and testing audio here and doing all of that. And why am I telling you all this? Because I'm just making the point that I am evolving it, and there are people. I went through a whole stack of old Barefoot Radio and Marijuana Radio contacts of people I might want to speak to, some of whom were comedians, some of whom were musicians. And so I'm going to endeavor to bring them on here and sort of tie it in subject matter-wise, because I tend to gravitate a lot on here toward the manosphere topics. And that is what I want to talk about a lot of times. And you can call it grifting. It's probably to a degree grifting, but it's also sincerely trying to give some kind of worthwhile thought to the subject matter. And so I want to invite people on, and I want to know how to have it play out smoothly, because I don't respect, the Tonight Show now where they're like, we don't have our writers, we can't go on and do a show. But yes, you can. Like, I believe wholeheartedly you could do something so very special if you went on without the writers. Suddenly, it might become something new or fresh or better, and you'd have even more respect for someone, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Colbert. If you could actually produce a show without the writing and all that, it's like you become dependent on it, and it really diminishes the amount you get from the host that makes the show a byproduct. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, well, okay, it's with Jimmy Fallon, but it's really more like all the people contributing, and then he becomes more like a puppet piece. So be creative on your own. That's what I'm trying to do here. And God knows I don't want to have the job of hosting the Tonight Show. I'm more able to be me and myself. I can't say, fuck that shit and bitch if I'm on the Tonight Show, you know what I mean? So I can pretty much cater a situation here better to myself and enjoy it more than I could by being paid millions of dollars. I would enjoy the money. Millions of dollars on the Tonight Show. And Hollywood, dark Hollywood. Coming up, I have a Jim Breuer clip. It talks about the darkness of Hollywood. That kind of ties into what I'm thinking as I say this. So if I were host of the Tonight Show, you're like top tier talent in Hollywood, and all of a sudden there are these expectations of you. You can't express your opinion. I saw that with Jay Leno all the time. Like, Jay Leno's not allowed to express himself with the full breadth of his thoughts. And that includes the type of humor he could engage in. But then suddenly you see him done with the Tonight Show going on with Bill Maher, and he's like this fucking whirlwind tidal wave of humor and freedom, being able to express himself again. Giant difference. So it's like, why would you want to dial down the talent on the Tonight Show and make them tepid compared to their full potential? It's like, unleash Jimmy Fallon. Let him be whatever the hell he wants to be. If he and his guests want to smoke cigarettes, but, you can't smoke inside buildings now, because duh. You never should have let those liberties go, is all I'm saying. Smoking cigarettes, I don't like the smell of cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. They're nasty. They make me feel like shit. I had to quit them because I spent time smoking cigarettes when I was younger. But you never should have let that liberty go, and that matters more to me than anything. Then liberty never should have been surrendered. in all these environments where it's like, you're not allowed to smoke inside. You're fined if you're smoking inside. Stop, stop, stop. It's just never let the little liberties go, because it's that Overton window. One tiny little thing leads to another tiny little thing. You know, Adam Carolla once spoke about the sign that prohibits you from doing a whole list of things on the beach. When he was little, it was just like a few little things you couldn't do on the beach. Now it's a freaking mile-long tablet about all the things you can't do on the beach, and it's never going back. Unless you really seize the power and the control back, it's never going to go back to normal. So why? Anyway, let's continue. Jim Breuer on the darkness of... Oh, that's weird how this didn't... Let me see. Okay, good. Here we go. I'm going to come to this, and we're going to watch this clip of Jim Breuer. This is kind of a good thing to go to right after what I was talking about just at this moment. So he's on here with Theo Von, and I'll just bring you over to it right now. Whee! All right. Hey, why does it do that sometimes? I think it's when you grab it right there. Why is it right there? Why does it do it sometimes and not other times? Okay. Anyway, back to the screen. He's talking to Theo Von, Jim Breuer, and we're going to listen to what he has to say about Hollywood. Wait.
When I was a kid, I went to a grocery store.
No. This is not what I was looking at earlier. Hold on. We're not ready for mystery. That's what's supposed to come next. What happened here? History. I'm going to go back to where I was watching Jim Breuer on the toilet this morning. And here we go. Back to this.
Then the real Hollywood came. And I'll tell you what. I'll let you in on a little something, but I'm not going to drop names.
Okay.
But I'll never forget, these are black producers, a guy named Kevin Brown and Andre Brown, and he was later on 30 Rock, but they would come to us and they would tell us about vanity and losing your mind in Hollywood and be careful. And they came back from Hollywood to try and expand us. And they sat us down and they're like, you ain't going to believe what we saw. And I'm like, what did you see? And they said, we saw so-and-so, huge name, so-and-so, huge name, and so-and-so, big name back in the day, chicken hawking at a party. And I went,
What's that?
What? See, you're white. I said, what's chicken hawking? Everyone he's white. He don't know chicken. I said, what is chicken hawking? That's when you hanging out with boys that are transvestites. I went, what? What? See, now you telling stories.
I don't even
now
get though.
Stories.
Yeah.
Why is that called chicken hawking? So someone famous was hanging out with men dressed as women, and it's called chicken hawking. And he said boys, so I don't know how literally we're supposed to take boys. And the title of this video is The Dark Side of Hollywood. Jim Breuer talks the dark side of Hollywood. So are you implying something more sinister, more inappropriate? I would think so by the title of the video.
But I never forgot that. 3 years later, this name, ping! Huh.
Busted chicken hawking.
That one's sick. This one, bing, busted.
Yeah.
Huh. They swept that up. That's what I call, to me, Hollywood's a mafia. It's a big, dark mafia.
Yeah, it is.
And then what happens is, I remember one of them, it was like, the mobsters come, they're like, we understand. Not mobsters like Italian.
Right.
Whatever,
You're talking
whatever
about,
gang you want to
the
call
attorneys,
it. Right? And they come along like, listen, you sign this, you do some movies there, we'll put the soul on the table, we got enough money to make this go away. Ping, it's gone. No one ever brings it up. No one ever brings it up with this person.
That's crazy.
Weird.
And there's 2 or 3 of them. Huge.
Some people get a
Huge.
Some people get a weird free pass like that with their behaviors. And I could only imagine how bad it's been at certain times, the womanizing. So in the past, you have people in Hollywood. I often think of these classic Hollywood men like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra are coming to mind. And I don't know that you'd call them Hollywood per se, but they were in movies. And I think of them as musicians and stage performers most predominantly. But I'm sure they got away with murder as far as being womanizers and hitting on women. And some of the hijinks, you know, they were never called out on it. Sort of like JFK was screwing Marilyn Monroe, presumably. And I wasn't there. I didn't see that. I can't comment it on in depth. But so there was this respect for it, like, okay, that's the way things are. Shh. But now it's like you can't get away with that. James Franco's a perfect example. And I actually feel for James Franco. You know why? Because he's out there and enjoying himself. And I'm sure he's not a perfect man. I'm not a perfect man. If I had the world of beautiful women throwing themselves at me, beautiful young women, I don't know that I could deal with that responsibly in every case. I'm not going to force my way on women, but then so he winds up. It's like the Prince King syndrome. These pretty young girls, they meet the prince. There's this picture of a young woman with Prince Andrew. Okay, not going to go into that story, but the look on her face is like, oh my God. He's a prince. I'm going to be a princess. Ah. So a woman meeting James Franco in contemporary America, contemporary Hollywood, that's like the same thing as the Prince syndrome, where it's like, oh my God, he's James Franco. He's so high value. I'm going to be with him. And if I give it to him, maybe. Like, so a woman's taking a gamble when she has sex with him. She wants to hook up with that guy. She wants to be his number one. And so, but then James Franco winds up getting in all this trouble, and he's outcast from Hollywood. And I hate how his buddy didn't stand up for him and continue being his buddy. Of course, I'm talking about Seth. It's Seth Rogen? Seth Rogen, yeah. I'm confusing him with Joe Rogan. That's Seth Rogen, okay? I should try to learn an impression of that guy because sometimes I think I could get that down. The way he talks, I don't want to have kids. He and his wife. Okay, so Seth Rogen, I love him in movies. He's exceptionally funny, and in the movies he's likable, but the more you hear him talk in real life, the more I'm like, oh boy, this guy is a total, it creeps me out, like what he's become in Hollywood. God knows what he's doing behind the scenes. God knows. Jimmy Kimmel is another one of those sellouts, like the Masonic place where he does his show. Creeping me out. I don't need writers. I guess, you know what, as I say that, I'm imagining these snobby assholes saying, the fuck you don't, you suck. Well, okay, whatever. I'm not doing the Tonight Show, and I'm not doing Tonight with Jimmy Kimmel. I don't even know the name of his show, okay? Jimmy Kimmel Live, is that what it is? I don't even know the name of your show. It's not the Tonight Show. And it's like, I don't even care who is it doing. Colbert took over for David Letterman. I'm just not into this new cadre of new contemporary performers the way that I was into the classics. Conan O'Brien is a classic to me. Johnny Carson is a classic to me. Before all this dark shit. Who else? David Letterman is a classic to me. Howard Stern still represents a classic Hollywood to me because it's like contemporary right now, not as much, but he still, goes into that time period, considering the span of time that he's done the work. Let's continue with this because I find it interesting.
Saying is, by the time I started doing Saturday Night Live and Half Baked, blah, blah, and TV thing, Tim Allen, all this shit, that's when I really saw how dark and so, it was dark. I get creeped out. I get scared to death. It was soulless.
Yeah.
Never seen anything. Still, every time I get out there, I feel like, oh man, I don't feel.
I knew my shit was too dark. It showed on the app that it was on. So this is how it was off. Because since I did kind of cool, maybe I'll look at it, see if I like it. It has a dramatic sort of look. But now that's the full light. See, this is a one-man show here, and sometimes I screw up, people. Anyway, continue on with what you're saying, Jim Breuer.
Life out there.
Yeah.
I don't feel it at all.
You know what? I've always said when I get off the plane there, I feel like I'm in the office. It always, I just feel like I'm in an office constantly. Every light feels like a fluorescent light. It feels like it never ends. But it's hard to find it's hard to find a comfort out there. But there's always this dangle of a
carrot.
Yeah, and it's a carrot, and I don't even know what it is because
it's vanity.
Is vanity?
It's vanity.
Is it?
Yes.
Vanity.
That's very
Joey
accurate.
Want
I think.
this.
Right.
You know you want.
There's a big sense in which what I'm doing right here, right now, is vanity. There's no doubt about it, dude. Vanity. Look at me. I dressed up like fucking Don Juan today. You know, it is vanity. There's a big part of doing a show that's vanity to me. So it's not vanity when I'm out hanging out with people because I try to have this humble attitude. And it's legitimate. I'm not like pretending to be humble at those times when I'm with others. I try to dial it down. That's how I think I maintain social relationships better. I would drive people crazy if I acted with them constantly like I act on here. But this is a moment to maximize and accentuate all aspects of life. Let's see, what do we got down here? It's there's Nancy. Okay. Anyway, vanity. It is vanity. Big part of what I'm doing here is vanity for me. I acknowledge that. I concede that. This is the manner in which I'm going about in life, wanting to get some attention for myself. It's not that I want to be the center of attention in everything. If I get married, doesn't matter who I get married to. On that day when we get married, I want it to be about both of us. But frankly, I don't want to be the center of attention. I'd rather go to someone else's wedding than have the wedding be about me. That's not saying I don't want to be married either. Like if it's truly the right situation, that could be a very joyous occasion. But I still don't need or want to be the center of attention in that kind of context or setting. But right here, that's admittedly the whole point. Vanity.
You're better than so-and-so. You know you're better than so-and-so.
I
You
think
get
that all
this,
the time.
That'll be worth this.
Yeah.
And then your
Dude.
and then your road will be worth this. You want to be. You think that person deserves to be in arenas or on billboards? You should be on. Take you want it.
Oh, man, that's exactly right. Real smiles, man. Seriously, I love this man. I think a couple times I interacted with him online. I always tried to book him back when I was doing marijuana radio, and I would figure out the audio. If this guy said he would come on here and talk to me, I would put him on this screen up here in a second and talk to him, and only for a short duration, only a short snippet in and out. I'm not going to talk to him for an hour, you know. Don't want to take all your day and time, dude, but come on. People, help me hook up guests like that. I'm going to have guests on here. I just need to figure out the freaking audio and the routine.
There's a little
I believe that.
That's what we're sold
As you're
on.
saying it, I'm thinking, I'm trying to feel like, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of times things will land for me and my feelings like, is it vanity? Is it?
Yeah, of course
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
something of
An ego.
Totally
It's
is.
ego and vanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ego. It's vanity. I want to be better than them.
I appreciate the conversation, guys, but what you're talking about, I figured out for myself a long time ago. So I'm chill when I'm hanging out, sitting next to people. I'm chill, but by golly, last weekend when I went up to sing karaoke in Huntsville, my mindset was like, now is the time to be the best. When you're on that stage, it's time to be game on, be your fucking best. And I'm not saying I'm like the most amazing man in the world, but I definitely approach it that way. And it is some vanity, like, but I do enjoy, so aside from the vanity, I enjoy the emotionality of the music.
It's, it's
not easy.
No, it's not easy. Well, and I think also you start to see the other side of it too, where it just, there's never like an understanding. You never get to talk to the person to have the conversation about it's just, there's never any real instructions. It's all kind of vague.
You're right.
The business is vague. The money is vague. It's all
vague.
And there's all extra people are always stacked in at the last minute you've never met.
Right.
And they're living and they've owned your family now. They're just crazy. Your grandfather's now their grandfather.
It's
like
a nonstop Scarface movie.
Yeah.
You go to, you got their money, you got their, 7 of you?
Why?
What just happened with that guy?
Total Jim Breuer.
What's going on?
they're cutting you. They're putting you in a commercial for bone saws as they're cutting you in half. You know.
Put this dress on and then take your pants off, and this is gonna get you big time.
That was very fun. So that was Theo Vaughn's clip, I believe, from his show. I will like that, sir. I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed commenting on you guys. The subject matter felt cool to me, and I know it seems maybe I'm garrulous and self-aggrandizing. I like to use those words, garrulous and self-aggrandizing. I do it a lot. Not only I use those words a lot because I want to show off. It's vanity. I'm articulate. Daddy said I was a master of the English language, and you better take that to the bank. But I was saying, oh my God, I fit in with the commentary. I always have to relate it to my own thoughts and my own experience. So it's not as self-absorbed as it is just trying to, well, I have to relate it to me somehow because that I'm the prism of the world in my own context. You know what I mean? Just like you are for your own context. And that doesn't mean I'm interested in what other people think. I think if I weren't interested in what other people think, I wouldn't be putting them up on the new RISE TV here and making commentary on it. I want to know what others think. I want to make commentary on it. I want to speak to them personally. I can and I will. I just need to get the routine down. I know what clip I want to go to next. I had a clip of Mystery, the pickup artist, and I'm virginal to the clip. What? Did I not cut and paste? Okay, so what I got to do is, in order to find the video that I wanted to talk about, I have to go back into my YouTube history, and wherever I see this clip of Jordan Peterson. So this is what's interesting about it is, excuse me, such a natural burp. I guess I would have to suppress that if I were on the Tonight Show, but this ain't the Tonight Show. And I'd much rather be able to I don't know if you guys have noticed. I just burp freely on here. And I do that because that's what Howard does. When I sit and imagine myself on here talking about whatever it is, I imagine myself saying something deep with a burp in between it. True story. That is true. Here we go. All right. So here's a clip of Jordan Peterson giving his thoughts on Andrew Tate. I thought it was kind of interesting. And so here we go with Jordan Peterson. And I'm not going to derisively use the word dude and bruh and bruh. Bro and bruh. I guess they're different. Bro and bruh. BRO, BRUH. Different. So I could see my shtick on here wearing really thin. I do want to have hot woman sitting across from me who laughs at everything I say. This is incomplete until I find that, you realize. Even better if I marry her. And she's just like, yeah, we're going to make this big. We're going to make this huge. And it's going to open all these doors to have a fun life. Before the world shuts down, I tell you, we have so much time before the world becomes a total nightmare. Let's play this now. I get sidetracked so easily.
Opinions on Andrew Tate and the masculine movement happening in young men across the globe.
Why is there an applause to that? She wants his opinion on Andrew Tate and his appeal to masculine men across. Why? Why would you applaud that intro necessarily?
Well, I really haven't said anything about Andrew Tate, and I probably won't tonight. But well, I'll make a few
there's a lot
comments.
of noise in the background I can hear. I can hear him in these headphones. Like, people are like, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Like, aren't you supposed to be listening? That's the audience. That's what audience means in Latin or something, doesn't it? Like, listen or something. Listen.
The Andrew Tate phenomenon, I would say, is that the mystery is, there is a mystery in relationship to Andrew Tate, and the mystery is, why is he so popular? And I think part of the reason he's so popular is because he doesn't easily bend a knee.
That I appreciate.
And it isn't obvious to me that he doesn't
bend I appreciate is a man who sticks to his guns on his beliefs and stuff. I try to be like that. But this is a tough world to be that person in, because you get in a lot of trouble when you and I have problems in my life that stem from that right now. I'm having to stand up for certain things that I haven't even come to this show. I can't talk about them on this show because I get too riled up over what I consider to be profound injustice. Don't bend the knee don't comply with a bunch of unjust shit is like the point I hear. It's what comes to my mind when he's talking about Andrew Tate not bending the knee. Very important. But there are other aspects to Andrew Tate that I don't think are so admirable.
because of his stellar moral character, but because I'm not particularly, what would you say, impressed by what he's done on the sex business front. It seems
Yeah, I
to
would
be
agree.
a bit on the pimpy side, let's say. And I'm not a great admirer of pimps. So,
Right.
wait.
And to be honest with you, when I think about Andrew Tate, I hear him say a lot of intelligent things, and then he says edgy things that I think diminish the quality of the thoughts that he conveys. I do that too. Like, the second I feel like I'm being taken seriously, I feel like I have to make some stupid joke or act like a clown. And to me, I don't know how much of a parallel there is between me and Andrew Tate in that way, the way Jordan's describing him here. I have a definite thought about that, which is like, well, the whole thing with Andrew Tate and his involvement with, he got his start filming women doing pornographic things, and so it's like automatically you're going to get thrown into the misogynist label with that. So in that sense, there's an argument to be made as a pimp, as a sort of contemporary pimp, that he is not the best role model for men. It's one thing to be confident in the face of a world where women, many of whom have grown up in this era and they're a little too haughty. Be confident in the face of that, but I just don't think we need to be exploiting women sexually. That does get into a realm where I would have moral scruples. If you said, $100 million, Paul, you'll be worth it if you just get in on this porno company. It's like, no, like, what? That would be me tying my heart to money from that, and it would feel wrong to me. I'm like a man of moral scruples. I can't go along with stuff like that.
Even if they're the electronic version. And so, but I don't know that much about the details of his life. And apart from that, rather casual diagnosis, I'm going to leave it alone. But there is a mystery there. And the mystery is, why has he captured the public imagination? And it's clear that he's become a voice, maybe,
What up?
maybe like a,
I don't know. My timing was off there.
kind of a violent rapper, same sort of attraction to young men. And that attraction is...
By the way, note the irony of the suit when he says, when he's critical of pimps, he's kind of wearing a suit that is very much pimp. I know he wore that on Joe Rogan, this two-tone color suit, and it's cool, but it does have pimp vibes. So it's a little ironic to wear that pimp suit and then deride pimps. And if you're going to deride pimps, Jordan, I insist that if you deride pimps, you must call them dudes, bros, and bras. Be derisive. LOL is derisive as well, right? Jordan Peterson. I couldn't get through this without doing my Jordan Peterson impression. Is it the great? It's about entertainment. Go, you do your thing, Paul. I will do my thing, Jordan. Don't you worry about it. I'll do my thing. Yes, and you should, but do not use the words bro and LOL and brah and dude, because they're all derisive. That's what you're saying to me every time I talk to you, that those words are derisive. They may be derisive. They're not always derisive. Sometimes it's like a term of endearment, depending on the context. Do you acknowledge that? I suppose I could see that what you're saying is true. It's just that when they're used with me, they're most often derisive, and therefore I get really bent out of shape, and I want to have people banned off of my YouTube when they call me bro. And when they're not disagreeing with me and then call me bro, it hurts my feelings. I know it does, Jordan. I've heard you say it a million times. Onward.
Attraction of what's the alternative to a kind of cringing defeat. And so maybe a forthright aggression is a preferable alternative to a cringing defeat. And I have some sympathy for that viewpoint, So, and I think Tate
I don't understand
at
what
least
you just
stands
said.
for that. And apart from that, I don't know enough about him or what he's done or what he stands for to comment. And so we'll leave it at that.
That's it? Okay, well, whatever, dude. All right, I thought I was going to have more to say during the bulk of that, and so where am I time-wise here? Okay, I guess that's my time. Damn, this hour flies by. Sometimes I wish I could go for 2 or 3 hours, but I need the pee break. I need producer assistance. I want that woman sitting across from me, stat. The permanent woman who's gonna stay forever through thick and thin and make this thing bigger than the Tonight Show. You can, but the truth is, you can't smoke cigarettes in my studio because you can smoke in an NBC's studio because they're big and corporate and fuck them. If you like what I'm doing here, I'm so grateful. If you're new to the show, welcome. Help me by sharing these videos. Listen to it when you're at home. Like, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I always mean it when I say to everyone, peace be with you all.
Bro! What's up, bro? Hey, bro. LOL. Bruh. Dude,